right, welcome back to Sunrise. Now it's time to flip through the pages of author Cassidy Keane's debut book, Awake. 57 Cups to Revive Your Inner Life. She joins us this morning to share more on her passion for mentoring young women and how that's reflected in this latest project. So welcome to Sunrise again, Cassidy.
Thanks again for having me.
Yes.
Such a pleasure to be here.
It's such a pleasure to be holding your book in our hands, because I think the last time you were here, we were just talking about this possibly coming to life.
Right.
And here we are now with the book in our hands. And so for anybody who doesn't know what this book is about, when we talk about, you know, when we mentioned it in our intro, what inspired this book?
Right. So it's funny because people are like, when did you start writing?
Yes.
And in fact, this is a book that was written over the course of 4 years. And so if you look, there are a compilation of different writings that I wrote in different seasons.
So
yes.
nice.
Yes.
So you can see. And so what inspired me is that sometimes I would post on Instagram, literally, just some writings that I would post, and people would be like, why don't you put together a book? And I'd be like, no, man, never. And so there were some young women that I worked with for about 3.5 years, and they truly inspired me to put this book together so that I could offer a tool of encouragement, of wisdom, of truth, and inspiration to them.
You know, I look at it, I'm saying, I'm going to buy this gift for my younger daughter, well, for both daughters, because the younger one is going to a foreign country, Europe, for some time, and this would be good company for her.
Yes.
Why 57 cups, though? Why not 56?
So 57 is 57 because it's so authentic to the compilation itself. You know, at some point I thought maybe I should go 100 because 100 sounds more complete and whole. But I didn't want to force it.
Right.
I didn't want to force the reflections because they came in such authentic moments and times. And to be honest, they're reflections that were inspired by the Lord. And so I can't force that at all.
Yes, I can understand.
I'm curious about the title of the book as well, Awake. Why Awake?
All right, Awake. So as you can see, there's a coffee cup, right? So that is a coffee cup, and then there are flowers coming out of the cup. Now, I call it Awake because when you wake up in the morning, you want to feel awoken, right? When you wake up in the morning, you want to feel like you're revived and rejuvenated. And so when I was thinking about, you know, what do I call this book? I want everybody to read this book and not just be rejuvenated physically, like when we have our cup of coffee, but to feel rejuvenated intrinsically, you know, and so feeling revived from your soul, from the inside out. And so that's why I call it Awake. 57 cups to revive your inner life. So each morning you can have one with a cup of coffee and feel revived.
Oh, you don't want to know what my cup of coffee in the morning is like. And that brings me to my next question. Who is this book for? Because, you know, I know of your work mentoring young women, and you're so awesome at that. Who is this book for, though? Can I read it? Meaning, can he read it? Like, who is this book for?
Right. So it is for anybody who I believe God wants to inspire and speak to. So obviously, I think it spans just generations, not just for young women, but for women. Not just for women, but for men also. I mean, I had a testimony of one of my friend's husbands who is in his 40s who actually read the book. Like one day he just saw it on his table and he picked it up and he needed a word from the Lord and he opened it and it was specifically for him. And so it's for anybody. And that's why, obviously, I've dedicated it to young women, but I really hope that it's able to inspire all.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that you've identified a specific target, though, even though you've said everybody, because young women, particularly, I think, young men too, would benefit from this because, you know, they can relate to the author.
Right.
You know, and they're going to say, oh, I can so relate. I'm sure some of the things that you've written about, they would see themselves in it too, you know?
Right.
And to start the day with this, to feed the mind first, is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm going to get a copy for myself.
Yeah, where can we get copies of the book? And where can people find out more info?
You can get it on Amazon for our international folks. You can get it at Fontana Waterloo right now and Brian's Bookstore. And you can also order from me and get a signed copy.
And where can we find you online?
So you can find me on Instagram at Cassie Keane, so CassieKeane, or at CK Writes.
I love that. I just want to ask real quick what the feedback has been like. And has it, you know, I feel like when we write a book, it's a completion in many ways. But now to see like this out in the world, What has that been for you? What has that been like for you, and what has the feedback been like?
Right. So, you know, it's funny when I put the book together, I just never, you don't really have an expectation.
Right.
But the feedback I've been getting has been like, it has touched me so many times where I've actually cried because it's strangers, people that I don't know, people who don't know me, who sent me a message saying, you know, I bought your book at X, Y, and Z, or I ordered it. Even internationally, I got a message this morning from somebody I don't know who ordered it online, and they said it has touched me so much. And so to hear that kind of feedback is like, God, only you can get the glory from this book, you know, and that has been, that's just my desire, that it would impact and really just plant seeds that will grow in different seasons, you know.
No, that's absolutely beautiful, and no better person to do it, Cassie. You're so
Keane.
no, but you're so in tune to your own authentic experience, and I think you're so brave to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to put that down in writing and to be a vessel and to you know, have that come through you to us is just such a wonderful thing. So we're grateful for you and grateful that as a young woman you're following your dreams and you're being led and guided, but you're also, you know, showing up as yourself in all of this. So we're so glad for that.
I'm on the Spirit 63. It says you will be stretched most in the place you are called to. You are being stretched.
Yes.
And we are being stretched to be exposed to this.
No, good to have you. Again, remind us where on Instagram we can find you.
Cassie Keane, so CassieKeane.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. And I definitely want to get my copy signed.
Me too.
Yay. All right, that was author Cassidy Keane with her book, Awake, 57 Cups to Revive Your Inner Life. Don't go anywhere, because when we return, we'll be investing. That's invest. I didn't say it wrong, in a new initiative pushing financial education for teens, which is so important. So we'll be right back. You don't want to miss it.
Yes.
So fun.